everyone, and welcome to the den. Today I'm going to show you a couple of ways to preserve your dry goods. So I have some cornmeal, some powdered sugar, some oatmeal, and some brown sugar. And there's going to be two different ways I'm going to show you. I'm not going to physically do the Mylar, but that is one way to do it. So with Mylar, you get these bags, and you would fill the bag, and you would drop in your oxygen absorber in there. Now these are, I think these are 500s. Pretty sure they're either 500s or 1000s. I'll put it in the description below what they are. I get my stuff from USA Emergency Supply. They do a really great job of getting them shipped to you in a good amount of time, and they have just a good quality product. I have ordered oxygen absorbers off of Amazon. Don't do that. They're terrible. Half of them don't even work. But the process with the Mylar is you put the food in here, you drop the oxygen absorber in, and the gas that's created from the oxygen absorber, it sucks away all of the air. So it's like a chemical reaction. And it removes all of the oxygen from here. And as long as this bag is oxygen free for, I think it's 12 days, then you know anything that was alive or would hatch or whatever, all of that cycle has been averted. Like, you're not going to have anything hatch, you're not going to have anything still living, because there's not going to be any oxygen to support the life in there. Now hopefully you don't have anything gross in your stuff, but it is possible. I did have flour one time. It was sitting on our, we used to have these, I still have some, but we used to have these big like Tupperware things with like a lid, and like I think you would store dog food in them or something like that. But I had flour in it, and I just happened to be looking on top of the fridge at the time because it was a very small house that we were living in, so I stored everywhere. And I'm looking up there and I'm like, why does it look like there's like little tunnels in the flour? And I'm like, oh man, that better not be weevils. I'm not used to weevils being in a dry climate. You typically don't see too much weevil action out here. I'm from Florida, so you get stuff like that more easily, I feel, in this more humid climates. Anyways, sure enough, it was weevils. So I had to throw away all the flour because I wasn't gonna mess with that. That's gross. And so that stinks, but there is a chance that you can get bugs inside of your rice, inside of your flour, any dry goods you can. So the other way that I'm going to be using today, and I'm going to go ahead and actually do that, is I'm going to show you one way to do it, is your Foodsaver. Now these are, I don't know, about $100 or so. I think this one came from Sam's. This I will also link below. I got these off of Amazon, but they are a good product. I think I got like 4 rolls, and it was way cheaper than getting them from like Sam's, the Foodsaver bags. They're not the brand Foodsaver, but they work just the same, and I've never had an issue with them sealing. So I recommend those, and I'll link those below. So I'm gonna start off with these oats. Now the reason why I would use a Foodsaver for this is because this stuff is gonna be more of a shorter term. Like, I'm gonna be using this, but in the meantime, I don't want it to go stale, and I wanna separate it out so it's in smaller portions. Now, if I was thinking long term, you know, 10 years or so, that's when I use my Mylar and put those away and add those into the rotation later. You know, you don't, like, if I'm gonna use Mylar and an oxygen absorber, then that stuff's gonna go and it's just gonna sit there pretty much in case, and just sit there until I need it, if I need it, right? And then once I feel like, okay, we're coming up on where it could start to expire, then I will rotate it out. But for short-term storage, that's also long-term storage, but shorter than a Mylar storage, I like to use the Foodsaver bags. So that's what I'm gonna do with these, and I plan to use this oatmeal. I don't have any on hand right now that's open, so I'm going to do 2 to 3 bags in here, probably 2, and then save the rest out for use every day, okay? So I'm going to show you how you do that. Now, I just kind of guess on what size bag. You can for sure go by some other more, I don't know, useful method. But I'm just going to cut off a piece and turn it on, and I'm just sealing this in. Now when I stick this in here, you're gonna hear it like make a little noise, and I kind of pull back on it a little bit because I feel like that seal that it does wastes a lot of space. So I'm gonna put it in and then just kind of pull out a little bit, not too much. I've gotten overzealous before and pulled out too much and it doesn't seal all the way, so that's not good. So now it's just sealing the back so that I can put something into it. With the Mylar bags, you can get gusseted bags. I don't think USA Emergency Supply offers a gusseted bag. If they do, it's more expensive. I just went with the regular bag. You can see it's just a regular bag, but the gusseted has like a little, you can stand it up more easily. If you're using Mylar and you're doing a lot at a time, like let's say you bought like a 25-pound bag of rice, it's easier, it makes your life easier if you have someone to help you while you're filling those. Now, this seals itself, right? This is going to remove the oxygen as well as seal it. Now, with the Mylar, there's no nifty tool. Like, you can't stick this in here. At least I've never tried that. What I do is I just get my flat iron and I just go over the top and it seals it just great. Okay? So that's how you would seal those. All right, so now I have a bag here. And I'm going to grab my oatmeal and cut the top off. And I already sealed some today already, so that's why my stuff is already, That's why my stuff's already out here. Sorry, Mike. Where's it at? All right, so all you're gonna do right now is just fill it however you want to fill it. Could probably use a bigger scoop than this, but whatever. So I'm just gonna fill this until I get to a point where I feel like it's full enough. Now you do have to stick quite a bit of the edge into. It's not in my pocket because I don't have it. All right, now I'm gonna do this. Give it a little tamp there and it will sit more easily on its own. Yeah, you could definitely use a bigger scoop. It would take much less time, but I already used this scoop today for this, so whatever.
I want to do that.
And of course I'm making a fat mess. My canner is just about to the point where I need to put the weight on. I can still get some more. All right, so I have like this much space. I can still get more in there. Miles, please don't do that. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna go with that, about this much space. I could probably get a little more in there. Sorry. All right, so yeah, about like that. You can see that's probably about 2 to 3 inches. So, like I said, you gotta have room to get this into this hole right here. And then you hear it do that. And now it's just, sorry, it's probably loud, but it's sucking the air out. And now it's sealing. So as soon as that turns off, it's sealing it up. And on this Foodsaver, there's a dry and a moist. Like I did my black beans in this last week. When I canned my black beans, I had a lot extra. So I took bags just like this and I did 2 meals worth, and I set it to the moist setting and it sealed them up just great. It doesn't get all the air out, most of it though, but enough that you can just stick that in the freezer. And I think there was like little tiny pockets maybe on the sides, but it does a great job with moist. So there's 2 settings for that. So here's my oatmeal. It's like a brick now, and most of the air is out. Now I'm just going to put my date on this for today, and I'm gonna put this away in the pantry. So in 6 months when I come back to it, it'll be perfectly good to use and fresh. And that's basically it. So now you know how to use your Foodsaver to do dry storage, and maybe in the future I'll come back and show you exactly the process on how to use Mylar. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video.